So today I have my guests, Sarah and Justine, and they have a podcast as well. Um, so would you like to tell everyone about your podcast?
Sure. We have a TV show podcast where we talk about TV shows, obviously. And we're called Trash Cat Productions. And then the one that we're doing, we've just been calling it We Have to Go Back because we started out with Lost, and that's like our favorite TV show that we all loved together. And sometimes my brothers, who also have a podcast, will come and join us for that. And yeah, Trash Cat Productions. We're on Spotify and Apple. I think pretty much everywhere you can get podcasts. But I'm Kat, and my co-host is here. Say hello.
Hi, I go by Trash Mouth or Janie.
Okay, Janie,
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. No problem. But yeah, that's us. And we are so excited to be here. Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes,
It's gonna
thank
be
you for
fun.
being here. I love the name of your little production, like Cat Trash
Yeah,
Productions.
Trash Cat.
Trash
Yeah.
Cat,
Yeah.
yeah, sorry.
That's okay. No, it's a play on our we played roller derby back in the day. And it's a play off of both of our my last name is Cat,
Mhm.
but it's a play off of our roller derby names. So I was Cat Scratch Diva and she was Janie Trashmouth. And so that's
Mhm.
how we came up with our little podcast production company name, was by combining our two roller derby names. And roller derby is big in Florida. So I know that you've got some roller derby teams down there.
Yeah, no, we have in Orlando, we have the Orlando Roller Derby, and they got really competitive. Like
They're
they,
doing like the professional roller derby now, so to speak.
yeah, they went through like the whole certification thing. I was actually in roller derby for about a year.
Nice.
Um, yeah, so I love roller derby. When you said you were in roller derby, I was like, yeah, these are my ladies.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of work, but it was a lot of fun. We
Yeah, it's a
actually
lot
started
of
up the
work.
league in our town. Yeah, it was a lot. So I was the vice president and she was the treasurer of like our roller derby league. So
Yeah. We
we
were
started
we're
it in our
founding
town.
members.
Yes, founding members.
That's awesome. That is a lot. Like it takes a lot of dedication to do that.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And dealing with all those women, I love
Yeah.
women, but 101 of them is a lot to deal with. That's how many we had when we very first started, was that many. They dwindled off as we started like competing, competitive skating. But yeah, we
Hmm.
started off with about 100 women, so that was
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot of personalities to contend with in the
Totally.
world.
All strong personalities too.
Yeah.
You gotta have kind of a strong personality to play roller derby, I think.
Hmm. For sure. My roller derby name was Supernova Star or Scar. Supernova Scar.
Cute.
That
That's adorable.
was very
What did
cute.
you do? What was your position?
Well, I never like I made it technically onto the team, but I really just went through like the recruiting process
Oh,
and
uh-huh.
I did like a few little scrimmages, but at that point when it was like ready to become part of it, they were just going through a lot of changes at that time.
Yeah,
Like
it
people in
happens.
charge were
But
changing.
yeah, that happened to me when I moved here to Reno, actually, because where we came from, had it was a smaller outfit, but when I moved here to Reno, it seemed like as soon as I moved here, they were going through a bunch of changes. And so I skated with them for a couple of years, but they ended up actually disbanding.
Oh.
And then so there's a team in the surrounding areas and all the girls just went to those teams. But I was done by then. I was like, I'm too old for this now. I'm gonna end up permanently injuring myself, which I technically already have, but I didn't want to make it worse because I have a pretty good knee injury and I actually have a butt injury, which is hilarious. And I just love telling this story because I called it like, I don't know if I can say this on your podcast, but I called it
You can.
skate rape because we were practicing outside and I was going backwards through the pack and my indoor wheels, because we always skated indoor in my
Mhm.
hometown and I didn't have any good outdoor wheels, caught a little pebble and I
Uh,
fell and my skate went about 2 inches away from the glory hole there. And so I had just this gigantic bruise, and I sent pictures of my butt to my friends and said happy Keister on Easter because
Aw.
my butt was like, do you remember that, Justine?
Yes. Yes.
My
Oh
butt was
yeah.
like purple and black and blue and yellow and green. It was absolutely disgusting. And my butt cheek has never been the same since that incident. Like it's just permanently like, I don't know, like droopy there now. So
Yeah,
funny.
that sounds so painful.
It was so painful. Oh my gosh. And just even for like 2, 3 weeks afterwards. It's not quite as bad as hurting your tailbone, but pretty damn close.
Yeah. I really really loved it, and I still know like quite a few girls that are in the roller derby Orlando team, and there's part of me that's like maybe I could do it again, but it was just t such a time sink
It
for
is.
me.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
big commitment, and I think that was my main thing was I was also working and going to school at the same time, so it just became too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially if you want to skate competitively, like if you want to get really good, you have to put in those hours and you have to put that time in. And if you want to skate competitively with the big dogs, like you really got to be dedicated. And I think I was more of a, I really enjoyed more like skating with our own home teams, and skating with other teams elsewhere was fun sometimes, but they were so competitive and we just really wanted to have fun. So
Yeah.
we were more of like a fun times league. We always won the after party, that is for sure, because we're from Nevada.
Yeah. I think that's what I was looking for, like more my speed of like
Yeah,
just more of a leisure thing. And then when I
yeah.
realized like how serious and competitive they were because they were going through this whole like accreditation, I was like, oh shit, this is not what I was trying to
They
do.
did flat track.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were probably doing WIFTA.
Well, so let's start talking about this movie, Jeepers Creepers. So you guys rewatched it, and what were your reactions on your rewatch?
Interesting.
So I think similarly to Sarah, it had been pretty shortly after it was released that I initially saw this movie. Um, I didn't realize it was as brutal. It felt like it had all of the parts that made a really great horror film. The body horror, the gore. Uh,
Yes, the gore was great.
yeah. It was a little cheesy, but I think that for the time it came out, it was acceptable. I don't know. It was very 90s, and I can't remember what year
Yes, yeah.
it came out
It
exactly,
was like
but
2001, right?
okay, so yeah.
Yeah.
But it reminded me just of like all of the 90s movies. Just I think that's just the way things were written back then. And so I think I ended up liking it more this time than the initial time that I watched it.
Yeah, it was made in 2001, and like I've seen this movie a few times. Like I remember being a kid and really liking this movie and just thinking it was so creepy. Like the Jeepers Creepers song like definitely hits
Yes.
a chord with me. I don't like
Me
that
too.
song
I've
at
been singing it
all.
all weekend. Ever since I watched it, I've been like, Jeepers, Creepers. Like it just won't leave my head. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those things when you can get a song that you associate with your film in such a like visceral way like that,
Yeah,
I will never hear that song and not think of the movie.
Hmm.
100%. You just can't.
Yeah.
I loved it too. I liked it. I liked it. I did notice it was a little bit more cheesy than the first time I watched it because I just remember thinking it was so like scary and crazy the first time I watched it. And but
Mhm.
the costuming on the Jeepers Creepers guy was fantastic. He looked so scary. Like
Mhm.
his whole thing was just, and I love monsters, so that was my favorite part was his monster makeup and just his whole costuming. He looked so good.
Yeah, and that
What's
was
his
all like
name in the movie? Like, does he have a
he's the creeper.
just the
Yeah,
creeper? Okay.
we just
Yeah.
call him the creeper.
Yeah, and then Jonathan Breck is the one who plays the creeper. He's the actor, and that's all practical effects.
You can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One
Yeah,
of
it
our
was really
favorite
cool.
one of our favorite shows is Face Off. I don't know if you've
Yes.
ever seen that, but
I
so
have.
we go hard for practical effects.
Yes, we
So
do.
love that.
Yeah, I
Who
love some
did the
good
makeup
practical
for that?
effects. For
Do
this
we
film,
know? Yeah.
I'm not sure. I would have to look it up. That's not something that I have in my notes, but we could look it up as we're
Yeah, I'll
talking.
look it up really quick.
Okay,
Really
yeah.
quick.
Uh,
Makeup, Jeepers Creepers.
One thing that I noticed on the rewatch is like as a teenager watching this or young adult, like I thought their decision making was just fine. But then on a rewatch, I'm like,
I know.
I'm like,
I know
no, you
exactly what
guys.
you mean.
Like,
So many red flags, you guys. Come on.
so that's gonna kind of get us into like the my one of my themes is like the sibling rivalry between the two of them, the two characters. I think they
Yes.
do a really good job with that. Like they're very bitchy to one another.
Hmm.
Yep.
And it's very much what I would have done with my siblings.
As an
Uh,
older sister, I can confirm. Like, I have three younger brothers. Can confirm that is exactly how it is.
yeah. Like when she's holding him in the pipe
Yeah.
and she's like, we shouldn't be doing this, but he convinces her into it. She knows him well enough to know that he's not going to let it go. So she plays
Yes.
along, but he's kicking his feet and stuff, and she lets him go. And when she lets him go, I think of it as like, I mean, how do you hold on to someone who's kicking at you?
Right. Exactly.
But then he
Yeah.
blames her.
Yeah. Well, and I think that that was part of the sort of cheesiness too of just that was there. Just that like little bit of cheese was just like their dialogue too. What had a lot to do with that. Their dialogue
Mhm.
back and forth, how that was written was probably the cheesiest part. And when they're talking to each other in that way, it's just like it's just not as believable in those instances. Like, if you really want my help, you're not gonna effing kick me, you know? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. And then there was
The
the part
makeup
with
dude.
like, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. The makeup guy is Brian. Uh, I think it's Penacus or Panakis, and he did makeup for Emancipation, Army of the Dead,
Oh,
Agents of Shield, Fear the Walking Dead. So he's done a lot, and Sons of
Nice.
Anarchy. Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff. So you can tell he's got a Interstellar.
nice.
He's got a good resume there. So yeah, that was my favorite part with makeup for sure.
Yeah, definitely a veteran there with all of
Yeah.
that. Yeah. One thing I thought was interesting between their relationship, like they talk about their mom a little bit. And she doesn't want to see their mom. And she's like, did you say both of us were coming, or did you just say you were going? And he's like, I said only one of us. But he has his laundry so there, and he's like taking it for his mom to do his laundry.
Yeah.
He's such a mama's boy.
Mm.
Listen, my son does the same thing. My middle son, he brings his laundry every Wednesday. We hang out and he brings his laundry over and I do his laundry here. Part of the reason is because in his apartment, his washer and dryer are tiny and he's kind of a big boy, so he's got and lots of clothes. But yep, I can relate. My son brings his laundry over.
Yeah.
I like that he points out though that it's for their mom though also, you know. He's like she would miss it if she didn't have my laundry and have that opportunity
Exactly.
to take care of me.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep, that's for sure true. It's just nice when your adult children hang out with you and they don't have to. So even if you're doing their laundry, it's like who cares? I get to be like around you, even though
Yeah.
you're on your own and doing your own thing.
Yeah, I don't know what Trisha's relationship with her is with her mom, but it definitely seems more estranged.
Yeah. I definitely got that impression too, that there was, or something like that was underlying that they didn't really talk about. Maybe she got into some trouble or something and her mom wasn't, I don't know. I got that feeling too, like there just was some kind of a disconnect there.
Hmm. Yeah. Like between the two of them too, no matter what they did, they argued about what they were going to do every single step of the way.
Yeah, they definitely did. And I thought it was just funny that wasn't it, it was her car, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, she insisted on taking her car, but she wasn't driving it. I thought that was kind of funny. He was driving them in her car, and he's like, I knew we should have taken my car, and she's like, but I just thought that that was hilarious that she was making him drive, and it was her car.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I kind of feel like she was the older sister in that situation, but I don't think they ever for sure say.
Yeah.
I don't think they did either, but I definitely got that impression that she was the older one,
Mhm.
and
Uh,
maybe got into a little trouble in school or something.
yeah, she definitely seemed like the bad girl. Like
Yeah.
kind of she was a little bit more rough than him
She rough
around.
around the edges. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was.
She
And
was like ready to fight.
yeah, did we ever hear, were they at like the same school or something? Because it seemed like they were both off at school and like I don't know, they never really elaborated on that. And it's not really an important detail, but I was like, did they go to the same college? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Just
know that
an
they were
errant
on spring
thought.
break, and that's why I
Yeah.
picked the movie because it's like a spring break horror movie.
And they were in Florida, weren't they?
Yes, so I can't remember. I don't think it's supposed to take place in Florida, but it is filmed in Florida. It's filmed in like Ocala, not too
Oh,
far from where
okay.
I live.
Oh, cool.
I did not get Florida from that. I was picturing like very backwoods, like Texas almost, especially like in the diner scene. I don't know, that just screamed like rural Texas to me.
Did it?
Yeah.
Well, they didn't have Texas accents, but I definitely got the feeling they were in a not very densely populated area.
Hmm.
Yeah, we have a lot of that in Florida. I know where it was, like that diner, and both the diner and the pumps were, they had to create that because it was very desolate over there.
Hmm.
And so people that actually drove by thought it was real and would try to stop by for food and gas, but it
Oh,
wasn't real.
wow. That's awesome. They're like, no, you can't come here. This is a movie set. And
Yeah,
then they're like, well, sweet, we ran into a movie set while we were driving in the middle of nowhere.
yeah, no. So the next theme I have on here is the cyclical nature of fears or evil, sorry, the cyclical nature of evil. So in evil, we tend to, or anything, we tend to put a number to it. And for this one, it's every 23rd spring for 23 days. The creeper would be able to feast on whatever it needed.
Okay.
So,
I did not even catch that.
Yeah, it's like
Did you
a
mention that?
locust or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even catch that part. That's crazy. Okay, so 23 is the number for Jeepers Creepers.
mm-hmm.
23 years.
I don't know why 23 though.
Yeah, it doesn't have any like history except for being what wasn't Michael Jordan number 23? Like that's the only thing I can think of.
The next theme I have in here is the power of fear. So the creeper smells the fear on someone, and then if it smells something that it likes, then it will take that part of you.
Right.
I thought that was a really interesting per like arc in the storyline because, typically that's true in life all around. Like if you are presumed, like if you're walking down the street and you seem very meek and very shy and a little like you are an easy target for someone.
Right.
Hmm.
And so he finds their easy target, and that's what he feeds off of. He's
Hmm.
Well, and it's the fear of being caught for your fear, you know?
yeah.
Like,
Right?
I think
That's a cycle
that,
right there.
yeah, and I like that they gave us that backstory into why this thing is doing what he's doing, or why, because you don't always get that, especially with monsters. Um, it's sometimes it's just an evil being or whatever. But this, it's like,
Right.
well, it feeds off of what part it wants to use from you or
Hmm.
whatever. So
Yeah.
I liked
Yeah.
that it gave us that little detail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that trope too.
Yeah, it needed, like, even in nature, like, if you're gonna go for a hike, like, I like to go on hikes a lot. We have bears, we have cougars out here, we have all kinds of animals. But if you show fear to a wild animal, it will attack you.
Yeah, because they can smell the fear on you.
And
Yeah.
it will, you appear as prey. So you're not supposed to run. You're not supposed to, uh, you're supposed to make yourself big, as big as you can, and then be as loud as you can to be aggressive back at the animal and scare that animal. But I mean, you know, I think
Yeah.
that's
I
pretty,
think that's true. Yeah, I think that definitely makes you a little bit more vulnerable. I think that we would be the type of people though that would be like, "Oh, come here, bear. Come give me a hug.
yeah.
Be friends."
If
Well,
your
and
arms are wide open, though, it might think that you're scaring it.
Yeah, you're right.
I think that that's a good sign of a formidable foe, though, too, because the psychic lady tells them that he won't ever stop looking for you. You can't hide, you can't run. It doesn't matter what you do. Basically, you've been marked.
Yeah.
So
Once he gets
it's
your smell or whatever.
yeah. So it's that extra fear of literally nothing I can do can get me away from this monster.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and that just makes your fear grow.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's also another theme with like your destiny and predetermined destiny. So they try, like, I find it really interesting that the psychic, Jez, I think her full name's Giselle in there,
Hmm.
she's trying to help them kind of change the destiny. She's like, I'm hoping that if I tell you these things, we can change it. But she's also admitting that everything she's seen has come true, and she's not sure that they can change it.
Right. The sister is very adamant. She's just like, do all of your dreams come true? Like, does everything you dream about come true? And she doesn't really answer her at first. She just kind of like beats around the bush about it because she's hoping that they'll be able to defeat this thing, or at the very least save her brother's life from him. But she never will answer. And the sister's just like, tell me, tell me, tell me.
Hmm.
That was a really intense part too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
The climax right there. I was like, ooh, kind of got
Yeah.
excited. And I was like, oh, it's been a long time since the movies made me feel like that.
Yeah. I like when it came to, because she goes step by step of like what's gonna happen. She's like, you're gonna hear cats. Have you seen cats yet? And you're gonna hear this song, and it kind of there's like a red herring in there because you hear this song on the radio, but it's the
Right.
wrong
It's
place.
the wrong, and it's not it's a different version of the song than what he, I think, heard from the phone call, right?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love so when the cats, that was part of
Yeah.
her vision.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
That lady was such a badass.
Yeah, she was
She
a tough
was.
old biddy.
Yeah, she was. She's all, I'm just a crazy old woman. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, yeah, right. You know,
Well,
you're
now
not just a crazy old woman.
that last guilt trip. What did you bring to my house?
Yeah.
Sorry.
My bad.
And she's so observant. She knows that that scarecrow is not a scarecrow. And she's like, "Did you bring someone with you?"
Yep. Yep.
And all the cats go crazy. Like they start like doing their like howling, like their
Yeah.
thing. I guess they put tuna on the screens of the window
Oh, to get him to
screen.
do that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah. So they would fight over the tuna.
About the only thing that my that's about the only thing human food wise that my cat will eat is tuna. I've never he's really super picky. Like he eats his food and he'll eat a little bit of tuna. I've tried to give him like broiled chicken before and he wouldn't have anything to do with it, but he will eat tuna. So that makes sense.
Yeah. I have six cats, and I have one cat that will eat anything and everything. I can't leave a single dish in the sink. It doesn't matter what it is.
Those are the best cats, though, with the ones with the personality, you know.
Yeah.
He would kill
Justine has
himself
a
immediately, eat
Justine has
something
a
bad.
three-legged cat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you have a three-legged cat, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, yeah.
He has got some character, man. He's been on our
Oh, he's
podcast.
so personality.
He he has comments all the time when we're trying to record. It's lovely.
He does chime in. He
Oh.
loves to chime in. And he's very loud too.
Yes, he is.
Meow. I love you,
Oh.
Lieutenant Dan. And we'll
Yeah.
be like, "Oh, Lieutenant Dan, you want to come and talk?" He's
Oh.
really, really big and fat, but he's like buff because he like just uses his two arms and he'll get up on
Mm.
her couch with just his two front paws and just like pull himself like he's doing a pull-up onto the couch and
Yeah.
he's adorable.
He's
And
yoked.
his ears are all messed up because he was attacked. That's how come he only had three legs.
Oh.
And he also has like a neurological problem because they gave him too much anesthesia when they were
Yeah.
fixing him.
Poor
So
baby.
poorly,
Yes.
and so he shakes.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's
He's got like
severely
kitty
handicapped.
Parkinson's.
And I've had to accommodate my home in
Yeah,
various ways to accommodate him. Yeah.
Well, that's
it's worth it because
amazing.
He's a
yeah, he's the
character.
sweetest boy. He just wants to
Yeah.
be petted and loved on.
Yeah. I have six cats in total,
I
and
wish.
they all have different personalities. My husband we would have 10 cats. If when my daughter moves out, he jokes that we're gonna get more cats.
I love that.
My
I love animals too much.
yeah,
I
exactly.
can watch people being killed on screen all day, but if you kill an animal, I can't.
100%. Yes.
Yep.
Like, no.
Yeah, exactly.
So another theme in this movie is basically, I called it "You are what you eat." Uh, because everything he eats, he becomes.
Right.
There is a scene where after the creeper's really hurt by them, after Trish like runs them over a bunch of times, he goes into like the prisoner's cell and he starts
Yeah.
feasting on the prisoners. And the prisoner actually has a tattoo. And after this is like a super like weird detail that you would never notice if you didn't like if I didn't tell you. But the prisoner's hand had a tattoo, and then after he ate the prisoner, he had the tattoo.
I did not catch that, but I
Did not
love
catch that
that.
either. That is fucking dope. Okay. All right. I like that. We love little
Easter
Easter
eggs.
eggs like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and then so they show the monster, they show the creeper at the beginning, and the creeper almost looks blind. His eyes are very misty.
Yeah, they look like they have that cloudy
Hmm.
cataract thing over them.
Yeah. But after he eats uh Derry's eyes, then he has Derry's eyes.
Hmm.
And you can see like their exact, I mean, it's just
Yeah,
his eyes. He doesn't have the cloudy
that I
eyes
did notice.
anymore.
Yeah, That I did notice. The tattoo though, I did not. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh, one thing about Derry too, his little tattoo on his belly,
Yeah.
his little rose.
Oh, his little rose tattoo. Oh my gosh. So funny. And that one little detail, she's like, you have a rose tattoo on your belly when and he had like the wound and stuff.
hmm
Yeah. Oh, Derry.
Such a dainty, like just by his belly button.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who gets
Sweet
a tattoo
little.
right there?
It's it was a very unique detail about him, something that no one could have predicted. Like
Right,
there's
exactly.
a story behind that tattoo, clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah, one drunken day.
hmm
Yes.
Because
It
it's
was
like a fine line
night.
tattoo. It's not like super detailed. It's just like this little dainty thing by
Yeah,
his belly
yeah.
button with his like little flat abs. He's got like these, he just looks like a little baby. Like he's so little.
A poke and stick at midnight after a night of drinking in the dorm rooms or something.
Exactly. That's what it looks like. Oh, he's
Have a
so
couple of
cute.
those, not gonna lie.
The next theme I have in here is just like the fragility of human existence overall. Like the
Yeah,
film portrays the creeper as a force of nature that's both terrifying and unstoppable, emphasizing the vulnerability of human life in the face of such a powerful and ancient evil. He almost reminded me of like a vampire in some ways.
hmm
totally.
He would never die, and every 23 years he came back and he ate what he needed. So if he wasn't into heart failure, he'd eat your heart. If he
Right.
needed lungs, he'd eat your lungs. He needed some eyes, so he went and ate Derry's eyes. So I thought that was like very much almost like a vampire type creature.
Yeah,
I think that
absolutely needing something
also
to survive.
hmm
I think that also like humans are so typically just like not concerned with their fragility. You know, we all know how fragile we are. We all know how easy we are to kill. Yet we do these stupid things. We put ourselves in these situations
Yeah.
that could be dangerous. And you know, like the very first thing they do, they decide to go back and look in that fucking pipe.
I
And
hmm
know. She kept
she
saying
even
over and
makes
over.
yeah, she even makes the comment like, "This is the part in the scary movie where you know you always
Where
tell
we
them that."
die because you don't want to, you always tell them, don't go back.
Yeah,
hmm
yeah, and we just throw
Exactly.
that out the window and we go and we face these things and we face these fears to our own demise.
And then he's like, well, what if that was me or you down there? And like, he kind of like manipulates her in that way. Like, wouldn't you go back? What if one of us was down there or something? So yeah, and
hmm
they definitely ignored all of the red flags and were not concerned with their own human fragility for sure.
Yeah. There's like an egotism to that. And I think just being young, and they were so young in this film, and like
hmm
young people tend to think that they're
Yeah.
invincible.
Oh yeah,
And
for
yeah, I
sure.
definitely saw that with him. Um, and oh my God. Let's talk about the inside of that basement of that church and
Ugh.
how it was covered, like from ceiling to wall, like head to toe with dead bodies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
dead
was
body wallpaper.
bananas. Yeah. That was bananas. That was one of those ugh, moments like
Well,
where I love gore like that though.
Me too.
when I first saw that, I was like, and you know, considering I had already seen the movie, I did not remember this obviously, but when they got to the diner looking for help, I was like, oh, all these
Yeah.
motherfuckers are in on it, dude. Like, there's no way he's been stealing that many people, and
Right?
somebody's not in on it with him. So I was like suspicious of the cat lady. I was suspicious of the people in the diner, suspicious of the cops.
Yes.
Um, but it
Somebody's got to be
turned
helping this guy out.
right, but apparently they're just blind to all of the people that go missing in their
They're
area.
just feigning ignorance or something. Like that's kind of what it seemed like. Um, Tell me why this guy drives. Is it just to keep up the human facade? Like,
Yeah.
you can fly
Uh-huh.
driving, and I mean maybe it was just so they could use that cool car and they're on the road, and it's a very familiar trope having people on the road being chased by
Yeah.
evil people. Usually it's not like a monster like that though. It's just like
Mhm.
a fucking psychopath. But this dude is in a is like a monster in a truck, which I kind of loved that little bit of like it was kind of a humorous little take on it. And I couldn't wait to talk about him driving a truck with what was the license plate? It was like be eaten or
Be eating you.
be
Beating
eating you,
you.
yeah.
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 Which I would have been like beating you, not be eating you if they were playing like the license plate game.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I saw that, I would say I thought it was beating you, like we're racing and you're beating me. That would be my first thought.
Well, I think that's how they took it, but when they're talking to Giselle on the phone, she's like, say it again, think about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So it never says that it's be eating you, but I think that's what she's insinuating is that it's not beating you,
It's not
Hmm.
which is
beating you, it's
right.
beating you. Yeah.
When I read it, I was thinking like I'm beating you. Like I
Right.
Yeah, exactly. That or like you're in a car, so if you're driving, especially if you're driving like an asshole like he was, like I'm beating you, like I'm winning, you're gonna pull
Hmm.
over because I'm being erratic or whatever. So I just thought that little bit of that little humorous thing that they did with that was really cute. I
Yeah.
guess if you can call it cute.
I think like I was confused too why he was using the truck when he could literally fly, but also
Yeah,
it's not like he was not vulnerable. He was like he can eat
be
different parts he
weakened.
needs and he can like regrow and heal himself, but he's still vulnerable.
Yeah, he can be weakened, I guess.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I kind of saw it as that's why he was using the truck as kind of like to blend in.
Yeah,
He's lived
somebody
long
else.
enough. He knows humans
Right.
are the biggest predators out there.
Yeah, true story.
Yeah. So that actually brings me to the game that I have for you guys, though.
Okay.
So I always play like a little game with my guests, and I have a little license plate game for you guys.
Okay.
Okay.
And so I have some pictures of different license plates, and I'm going to see like whoever the winner is. So I'm going to keep score on the two of you to see who gets it first, like who can guess
Okay.
what the license plate means first.
Okay, perfect. We live in the land of vanity plates. Like if you live in this part of Nevada, everybody here has vanity plates. So I think we might be pretty good at this. We'll see.
Okay, I try to pick hard ones.
I love this. I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
So whoever wins will get a prize, though. I'll send you a prize.
Oh, fun.
Yay.
So let me see. I'm going to share my screen with you. Just one second.
Oh, there we go.
Can you see it?
Send
Send
nudes.
nude.
Ah,
I
you're too
got
fast.
it.
You won that one. Yes, that sent nudes. I thought that was a cute one.
Is that Colorado?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
surprised they let that go, to be
I am
honest.
too.
Hmm. How can you tell me that you haven't been laid in a long time without telling me you haven't been laid in a long time? This is someone's dad.
Well, and then it's send troops or send nudes, support the troops.
Yeah, that
That,
is an
that's
extra
one
layer.
that's one way to do it.
Hmm,
Yeah.
that's funny. All right, next one.
Sex 24/7.
24/7. Ooh, Justine got that one.
Yeah, you got that one. So 2-0. Yeah, sex 24/7. Again, so many sex vanity plates. Like And it's rusty. Like your shit is rusty. I doubt you're having sex.
Well done, Maryland. Well done.
All right, next one.
Yas Queen.
Damn it!
Yes, so this person is
It was
obviously
coming
very
out of my mouth.
fabulous. They have
Yes,
like the fist with all the color, the rainbow color, like
yes.
everything. So this person I would be friends with.
Hell
Hmm.
yeah.
And I don't know what first in flight means. What's
Uh,
that for?
that's for the first flight, the Orvilles. It was flown in North
In North
Carolina.
Carolina.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. And it is a North Carolina plate. So, all right, next one.
Not OJ
Not
in a
OJ.
Bronco.
So, who am I giving that one to?
I think you're gonna have to
I don't
listen to the
know.
recording.
Yeah, you might have to listen to the recording for that one.
Yeah, I think it was a tie. I'm giving it to you, Sarah, because you have zero right now.
Okay. I got the first one.
You did.
I
Yeah.
thought I got the first one. That's why I think you're gonna have to listen to the recording.
Yeah.
I'll listen to the recording and then I'll let you guys know later. Yeah, I thought this was really cute, like not OJ. I would totally, if I had a Ford Bronco and I could do that, I would
Oh
do
my
that.
God, I know. That's hilarious.
Yep.
A white Ford Bronco.
Mm. All right, next one.
License plate.
Wait. Ooh, we were right together on that one.
It was together. I will give you both a point for that. Yeah, license plate, like so on the nose.
Yeah.
That's clever though.
Colorado's wild now.
Like I would never think of this.
I hope
Like,
there's a Nevada one on here.
yeah,
I
a
like that.
dyslexic person had to have come up with that.
Right.
I like that the plate holder says custom personalized license plate frame.
Yeah, the most like,
Generic.
uh-huh.
Didn't even have time to get it custom personalized. It's just on there.
Yeah, I feel like it's because I think it's like, here is what the thing is. They're just
Yeah.
very
Oh,
literal
okay.
about
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, next one.
Power bottom.
Power button. That was Justine.
Yeah, power
Power
bottom. Yep.
bottom.
I thought that was cute.
That's
It was so cute.
adorable.
That looks like North Carolina too, I think.
I think it is. Well, they get away with a lot over there.
Yeah, they
I
do.
know. I don't know how that's possible. That's crazy.
And it's a BMW, so it was like, okay.
That's
You're,
why they,
Sugar daddy. He's got a
yeah.
sugar daddy giving him a
All right, next one.
oh my God.
on my way to
On my way
fuck you,
on my way to find you, bro.
find you. On my way to
Fuck your
butt.
boyfriend.
Fuck your butt, fuck your boyfriend.
I did the on my way to fuck your boy
Okay.
or boyfriend or whatever it may be. I'll
Hmm.
give you both a point for that because you both had good ones. I could have been any of that. And this is California.
That's an old license plate. I haven't seen a California
It is.
license plate in a long time.
It looks like it
Yeah.
says 93 on that license plate on the, it looks
Yeah.
like, or it's 90 something, maybe 99, 93, 99.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, this is an older one for sure, but still good. That's classic. Someone is shisty as fuck.
Yeah.
All right, next one.
Sexy to A.
Ass sex backwards.
Yes. Okay.
Oh
I don't know.
shit.
Oh,
Duh.
no, no. Okay. Hold on. I have to escape and then I can. Yeah. So in your rear view mirror, you
Uh-huh.
would see
Ass
ass
sex.
sex.
Yeah.
That's great. I love that.
That's
Clever.
some forethought.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Those are the kids that were fucking around with their calculators and making like the all the cuss words with the numbers.
Mhm. 100%. Yes. Back in the day before texting,
Yes,
we used,
the
and you do
pager.
it like on pagers too.
Yeah.
So you would,
What they call elite speak? Isn't that what that's called?
Yeah, yeah, lead speak.
all right, next one.
24/7 ass.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's the Nevada.
Oh, it is Nevada.
Yeah.
24/7 ads.
This sounds like one of those numbers I would call when I was a kid to like
Right.
joke around.
1-900-247 ads or something like
Yeah,
Yeah.
that.
something from like the payphone at the park.
Hmm.
Right. Yes.
Did you ever do that with your friends? Just like call
Oh my
those
gosh,
sex
yeah.
phone lines from
Oh
like a
yeah.
payphone?
We would do that. We would call people in the phone book that had funny names. We would do
Hmm.
is your refrigerator running? You better go
Hmm.
catch it. We did
That
all kinds
actually
of,
looks like a regular license plate to me because that is the setup that we had for a long
it
time.
is, yeah.
Three numbers and three letters. That
Yep.
might be a like a caught one in the wild actually.
That looks like someone's actual license plate. It looks like it says 2013
Mm, I can't see the year on it, but yeah.
on the year, or there's definitely a one in front of it. So like 10 to 19.
I don't know. I guess it's hard to think that Nevada would release like
She's upstairs in my
999
bathroom.
999 license plates all that had ass on them though, you know what I mean? So maybe it's not
Yeah.
one that
You never
another
know.
yeah.
It's too specific, I think, to be accidental.
Right, right. Might be right.
All right. This might be the last one, but let's see. All right. Next.
Sharks.
Charts.
Yes. And it's another North Carolina.
Yeah.
Nice.
I would not get into that Uber.
No.
That's like just like, why are you admitting that?
Her
I
card does
wonder
sort of. Oh, go ahead.
I wonder if it's like their last name is Hart and so there's five of
Five
them.
hearts.
Five hearts.
Oh, five hearts. There you go.
Oh, well, if that was their goal, they failed.
That's a fail for sure.
Yeah.
That's like there's a lady that I knew back in Elko, and her husband's initials were DP, uh, David Potter or Darren Potter or something like that. So she went and got a license plate that said DP in me, like D
Oh
Darren Potter and
no.
me. Yeah.
No.
And it came up on like our local page, like people making fun of it all the time.
I love that. I never knew that. That's
Yeah.
so funny.
Did she
Tammy's.
realize?
Well, her husband realized he was like, "What the fuck did you do? Oh my God."
Oh my gosh, that's great.
That's really funny. I think if I made a mistake like that, I would just commit to it. I'd be
Right.
like, "Yep,
Yeah. Well,
that's
you'd
me
have
now."
to, or you'd go and have to go in and wait at the DMV, and nobody wants to do that. Like,
Yeah.
I'd rather just deal with it than have to go back there.
Yeah. Well, I think that's about it. Thank you for being
Okay.
on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having us. It was so much fun. And hopefully you can come, you can join us for Midnight Mass next weekend on Saturday. We're going to be doing Midnight Mass with our vampire. We're doing vampires this season. So Midnight Mass is our next one. That's our one and done. We categorize all of our TV shows that we do for our seasons with different things like a deep dive, and then we do like a lighthearted, and then we
Mhm.
do like Gone Too Soon, like something that left before we were ready for it to leave, or something that was canceled or something like that. And then we have the one and done that only had like one season and then it was finished. So that's
Yeah.
our one and done episode is Midnight Mass, and we'll be doing that Saturday morning, 9 o'clock our time probably. So I think that's gonna be like 10, 11, like noon your time.
Yeah, no, perfect. I will definitely be there. I'm looking forward to that because I love that show. And that
Yeah.
show made me cry. And I have no emotions. So
You guys are two peas in a pod. I'm like overly emotional, and Justine, it takes a lot to get her to
Mhm.
get emotional over something. That's why she likes all the fuck me up fam stuff, is because she wants to feel it. She needs
Yeah.
to feel.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
so
totally get that.